let me be very blunt. I think because of our ease of access to the Premier League, we don't rate the Premier League. Because anybody can just walk to anywhere. We have all games live. We see Premier League like it is our own. So, West Ham is a small club. The Premier League, the brand Premier League. And guy, you can go and look at the numbers when Kudus was unveiled at Ajax. Ajax, that is a traditional European club. They've won the Champions League.
Biggest in Holland.
Biggest in Holland. Compare those numbers to what these numbers have done
on social media.
On social media in just under 24 hours. The Premier League brings a certain spotlight. Look, and it is no mistake. Players are leaving AS Roma to relegation-threatening teams in the Premier League. They are leaving teams from
Burnley, Southampton,
look,
Everton.
The Premier League is massive. And when you look at West Ham, look, you can't just get up and land the London Stadium if you don't have a certain level of pedigree in London.
Yeah.
West Ham is a big team.
Yeah.
They are actually a very big team.
Historically,
they are a traditional team.
Yeah.
So he's gone to if you're talking about the brand and what the Premier League and the club can do for him, I don't think what again do you want? And it's just up to him to perform. It's really that simple. I said the same thing when Partey was leaving Atletico to Arsenal. Just do your part. You don't even need to perform to 100%. If Kudus can show the Premier League 70% of what he's capable of, look, in the next 2-3 years, and I tweeted it earlier today, that Drogba status of that commanding that big boy respect with the brand, everything that comes with it, Kudus really has the makings of that.
Yeah, he's got a great personality.
Because look, he's everything. He's so sellable off the pitch. Look, he's the guy, and on the pitch also, he has the ability to do so.
I've seen a message. Joe from Takrady says, I think Kudus should have convinced his agent to offer him to United because that's where he's going to displace Anthony straight away. Good signing though. I'm scared for him as to which player he's going to play at the expense of in this West Ham currently, and that's what many of you are afraid of.
The answer, if you are afraid that Kudus can't display somebody in West Ham, why do you think Kudus should walk straight into
So I was going to say that the question you asked at the top of the show, that where is Kudus going to play? Because it's 38 million pounds.
Yeah,
it is good money, but not over the top. That is a player West Ham can easily keep on the bench if they feel they have a very set starting 11. They didn't break the bank to sign him, right? And so Kudus now has to go into West Ham and fight for a place. It's not like when Luka Paquetá was set to join Man City, we could almost predict that he fills that number 10 slot. Now they've got Paquetá who is staying. They've got Gerard Bowen, who's their most important attacker. They've got Said Benrahma, who's the only natural right-footed winger in the team, and of course Mikel Antonio. So now Kudus has to fight for a place. If we are struggling to put Kudus in the starting 11 of West Ham, which other top team? Is it going to be Chelsea? Raheem Sterling is playing in that position that we think is his favorite position now, right? They've got players. They've brought down Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. That midfield three then looks very set if all of them are fit. I'm not saying Kudus can't find a place, but is he regularly going to start in some of these clubs? Is he going to walk into City? Is he going to walk into Liverpool in a position where Mo Salah plays? Darwin Núñez is on the bench. They paid 70 million for him, but they've got Jota, they've got Luis Diaz. They've got quality in these top teams that we are speaking about. The point is, Kudus is still very young, and Ghanaians need to be very patient with his progression. We saw Luka Paquetá leave Lyon to join West Ham. But for his,
that's what Danny said.
But for his controversies, he was on his way to Man City. Only after a season. So Kudus only has to keep his head down. Ghanaians need to relax and chill. He has to keep his head down and work hard. His talents, no doubt. Now he has to prove that week in, week out, against some of the best teams in the world,
best players,
he can showcase his potential. Because believe me, you can talk about Man United, but I've seen Sancho go to Man United and struggle. When Sancho was joining Man United, it didn't look like Kudus had more talent than him after what he had done with Dortmund. We've seen Anthony come from Ajax. They paid 100 million for him. He's struggling. We've at times seen even Marcus Rashford in moments and spells struggling in that team, because that team is not a settled team that I would ask or advise even more Kudus to join for his development. He's still not a finished article, and maybe West Ham is a stepping stone for him to showcase, like I said, to the world that he's ready for the big step. Chill. West Ham is a good club. I think he'll get his moment, but when it comes, he has to grab it because he's going to be competing with others.
Danny? Perfectly agree with Sichu. And again, I'm saying that with a team like West Ham, and the Paqueta example is perfect. They just need to see that you can excel in the spaces that they would want. So for Man City, of course, Man City don't play identically to what West Ham play. But Man City have seen that going forward, Paqueta can offer something to them. So for Kudus, it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% Kudus in the system, because when you look at the way West Ham play, and I'll mention it again, you look at the way West Ham play, you know that yes, you have some very good games, but there are some games that you also need to allow himself to be part of the system, which will happen.
AKA the defensive nature that Ghanaians are afraid of.
It will have to.
And maybe that is where he develops it. Who knows?
Maybe.
So because we have said that he's not all round in that sense.
Yes, that's an aspect of his game that needs a switch on. Maybe when he switches that on and it's a more complete player you can trust.
In 2-3 years, look, there are too many examples of players who have come to some of these teams and have spawned to top clubs. So just calm down.
When people say like you go to the top clubs, I think of City. I don't think he plays enough. I think of Arsenal. I think he will struggle for games in Arsenal. We've got Bukayo Saka playing in that position. Bukayo Saka has played more consistently than any Arsenal player in their history.
Yeah.
The guy, when he's injured, he doesn't feel the pain. He still plays.
He's just broken the record for the most consecutive games 83.
83.
Yeah.
You know, that is which other position? There's Gabriel, there's Edin Ketia, there's Kai Havertz who can play in the first 9 roles. If you're talking about number 10, they've got Kai Havertz, they've got their captain, who is always going to play in Odegaard. So the top teams are, you're talking about Arsenal, you're talking about City, you're talking about Liverpool, Mo Salah.
City, they are looking at Anthony. It's Anthony they are looking at.
Of course, I agree. He's a anyway, but that is not a club you want to really trust that Kudus develops. And I also think, I've said before, Eric Ten Hag doesn't necessarily significantly develop or improve the players he works with.
And Gary,
evidence are there.
In 1 minute, another thing we also need to understand is the pressure that the Premier League comes with and how quickly forgotten you could be. You don't want to go to a team where the spotlight is so much on you and every single mistake is magnified. Amplified. Just be at West Ham. You can make the mistakes there, but when you shine, everybody will know. When you have a bad game, nobody will know.
What is 23 going to 24? 23. The boy is still young.
Charlie, he's got his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah,